Hi, Atticus. This is Katrina, your reading tutor. I hope you're having a great day and hope you're doing well with your online schooling. And I hope you've been receiving these stories that I've been reading and recording and sharing with you. This week, I have a story called Little Thief by Anne Harth. And I know in the past I've been reading a sentence and pausing, and then reading a sentence again and pausing and letting you read after me. But this time, I'll just go ahead and read through the story, and you can read out loud to follow along, or just look at the words as I point to them and read them in your head. But reading aloud would be great. So here we go. Little Thief by Anne Harth. And before we start the story, based on the photo, who do you think the little thief is? The little boy or the little mouse? Well, I guess we'll find out. I did pay you back, Jack said. I put a $5 bill on your desk. Sandra looked under a stack of papers. She looked in her drawers. She opened every book on her desk. It's not here. When did you put it there? Last night, right before I went to sleep. Sandra looked under her chair. Are you sure? Jack nodded. I put it right here. He tapped the corner of the desk. I put your tennis trophy on top. I didn't want it to blow away. Jack looked under the desk. The trophy had fallen to the floor. He held it up. The trophy's here, but not the money. I really need that money, Jack. You're going to have to find it. Sandra stomped away. How could the money be missing? Where could it be? Could someone have taken it? Jack had earned that money. He'd weeded the whole garden. Would he have to do it again? Atticus, do you know what weeded means? In case you don't, when it says he'd weeded the whole garden, it means he pulled weeds out from the garden, which are basically usually brown plants or plants that grow uncontrollably in grass or in a garden. So you weed them out, you take them out so that the plants and other green grass and green plants can grow. He looked under the beds. No money. He looked in the closet. No money. He looked in all of his clothes. He checked the pockets of his pants. The money had vanished. Atticus, do you know what vanished means? If you said disappeared, then you're correct. And if you didn't know, that's okay. Now you know that vanished means disappeared. So in this sentence, the money had vanished. It means the money had disappeared. So before we go on, I actually want to ask you a question. Based so far on what we've read and the picture we saw on the cover of the story, who do you think the little thief is? Who might have taken his money? Let's find out. Jack sat on his bed. He thought and thought. Scrabble, scrabble, scratch. Jack froze. Scratch, scrabble. So it seems like there are sounds coming from somewhere. These scrabbles and scratches are sounds. And so Jack just heard them and He froze when he heard them. He slid from his bed. He opened his desk drawer. His flashlight was on top. Scrabble, scratch. The noise came from the closet. Jack opened the door. He flicked on his flashlight. Scritch. The noise came from the second shelf. Jack pulled out a shoebox. He pointed his light in the corner. A nest, Jack whispered. It was made from yarn and paper. A tiny head popped up. 2 dark eyes blinked. Jack moved closer. He stood on his tiptoes to look inside the nest. He laughed. You're the little thief. The mouse sat on a wrinkled $5 bill. Sandra stomped into the room. What are you doing? She stood behind Jack. I found your money, Jack said. So it turns out that the little mouse was the little thief, and I'm sure that's what you guessed. So you guessed right. Our comprehension question for today, they're actually all the same, is why do you think Sandra does not help Jack look for the money? So what do you think? Why do you think she didn't want to help him look for the money? Hopefully you thought or said that she didn't believe him. It seemed like she didn't believe that he had put the money on her desk. And she really, really wanted the money, so she wanted him to go find it since he said he put the money there, but it wasn't. But it turns out he did put the money there, but the little mouse had taken it in the middle of the night. I hope you enjoyed this story, Atticus. I sure did. I enjoyed reading it to you, and I look forward to reading another story to you next week. Have a great time, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, Atticus. Take care.